Hello everybody. For this week's lesson, I want to go back and revisit the wave principle. And the reason is because with so many things happening in the world, people have been asking me a lot of questions about stocks, about the Trump cryptocurrency, about the Melania cryptocurrency, about Bitcoin. Everybody thinks the economy is going up in a way that is going to go to the moon, that Bitcoin is going to shut up and go and never come back, etc. So I think instead of giving answers to such questions, I think I want to revisit the wave principle and see what the wave principle have to tell us about that. All right? So let's start with this drawing. This drawing represents the entire philosophy of the wave principle. Basically, it tells us that the market tends to move in 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then retraces in 3 waves that typically in Elliott wave parlance we name them as A, B, C. So this means a lot of things. One thing that it means is that the trend moves in 5. The counter trend moves in 3. Well, it also means that after 5 waves in one direction, we can expect 3 waves in the opposite direction. It also means that after the entire cycle of 8 waves, as we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, we can expect prices to reproduce the entire pattern at a higher degree. So, what does this tell us right now about what's happening in the world? Well, basically, we don't really have to be expert Elliottians to understand that if we see 5 waves in one direction, we should expect 3 waves in the opposite direction. These 3 waves have a very peculiar tendency, which is that they tend to travel all the way to the previous low of wave 4. Let me label this for you so you have a visual of this. You have wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the ABC tends to go to the 4 of one lesser degree, we say in Elliott wave. And if this is the beginning of a new trend, in other words, this would be the first wave of a much larger move to the upside, we can expect that this ABC, which would be wave 2, would retrace 50% of the distance traveled by the first wave. In other words, we could use a Fibonacci tool here to measure this and then expect that 50 to 62% would be reached upon completion of the retracement. So with that in mind, now we can visit those markets. Specifically, I want to show you the Bitcoin because it's the one that people are asking everywhere, and they have a lot of expectation with Bitcoin. They believe they can become rich overnight by buying Bitcoin and buy it fast because things are going to go to the moon. So I'm going to show you the weekly chart of Bitcoin, and I'm going to show you the clear 5 waves in that direction. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, what do you think could be or should be expected after we have these 5-wave moves? By the way, notice that every time we have a 5-wave impulse to the upside, like in this case, we have a 3-wave decline to the downside. Same thing repeats here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then we have an A, B, C to the downside. So, with that in mind, what do you think will happen after these 5 waves? Obviously, the correct answer would be that from current levels, or not too much above, we should expect a 3-wave move down. That should take prices to the previous 4, right? And that is approximately at 15,600 or something in that line, right? So right now it's trading at 105, 106. Well, should we buy Bitcoins due to the phenomenal excitement that the economy is living at the moment? Well, I think the wave principle gives you the answer. And notice something even more interesting. There are 5 waves to the upside already at the weekly chart. And notice that the 5th wave already shows 5 waves as well. Notice that if we count from here, we would see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the possibility, I would say not the possibility, I would rather talk about the probability that prices continue moving higher is very low. The probability that prices start falling dramatically in 3 waves and that Bitcoin loses a high percentage of its value, it's extremely high. And the reason is simply because we can count 5 waves in to the upside, and even the 5th wave shows already cleanly its subdivisions.